Yo, 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 yo. What's up, yo? Word. It's your favorite bean eating mofo, fresh off the banana boat. Big Lou tapping on in with what it do with Big Lou NFZR2. Just the first time you're coming to the channel, highly appreciate it if you sub, like, and share the channel with your family, friends, folks, gente, peoples, associates, camaradas, comrades, buddies, pals, whatever word you use in your vocabulary to describe those close to you, right? Uh, and Big Lou's gonna stay on the grind. Big Lou's gonna do his thing, and and let the haters hate. You feel me? You know, it is what it is, right? So, as you can tell from that thumbnail, right? It's topic is, when you're doing time, when you're locked up doing time, you know, uh, what's up with your family? Are they doing time with you? Even though they're not actually physically locked up in a facility or institution or a prison or a county jail, you know what I mean? But what's really the real deal? What's up with that? You know what I'm saying? The thumbnail is of that's a picture of me I'm in the middle and two homeboys in the picture with me. We got a phone over there, so every now and then we take flicks. Um, so that explains that. So um, that way I'm not gonna put out their names, who they are. That's not really important. But you know, uh, I figured if I blacked out their faces, it just I don't know. I don't think it would look right. So, anyways, it is what it is. So I dropped it. It's not the full picture. I got the full picture. I cropped it up. Uh, Plus the thumbnail. That's all it would take, anyways. So, anyways, it is what it is. So, topic. You're doing time. When you're doing time, you have all this responsibility, depending, well, what I mean by that is depending who you line up with when you're locked up. There's you become part, what's called you're a household member. Then you could be a squad member. You know what I mean? And once you got a title, not a title but a position, there's a lot of D's and R's that come with that. A lot of D's and R's that come with that, uh, which is duties and responsibilities. And a lot of that has to do with striking up things, writing up things, as far as within the house, within the collective, within the household. And it might be it could be a lot of different things, right? It could be just general education on the struggle, the history of the struggle. It could be the education of a topic that they're going over for that week. The teacher is going over for that week. It could be something simple. Security, what does it mean, right? They might call for a 500-word essay on that, or 300-word essay. It just depends who's the teacher right at the time and stuff like that. But a lot of other things, a lot of other positions, you are busy where you're constantly writing stuff, and it's small writing, so you get you get burnt out. Your hands are always you always get going, getting down with writing things, so your hands are always in at work. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for you sometimes to get letters out. You got to really plan your you got to really plan your day, in there, if you're if you got a certain position, right? And I'm not going to go into all the details about what the positions are called. Just know that there's a lot of positions, and some call for more attention to the actual position, job, if you want to call it a job, than others. You know what I'm saying? Some of it might just be verbal messages you're passing back and forth on somebody. Um, Say if you're on the squad, uh, say, everybody has a couple targets that they always keep their eye on, and then they got to report back to their squad leader where they're at, and that squad leader reports back to the guy that has the yard, the actual yard. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm not going to get into all the names of the positions other than what I already said, which all I said so far is squad leader, squad member, and household member, right? But like again, each one of those positions that are above squad leader, some of them is constant writing. So you have to, like I said, plan out your day, how if you're going to use the phone that day, sign up to use the phone. If you're going to write letters, if you're going to, uh, maybe you got, maybe you're going to school there and you got schoolwork to do too because you're trying to get your GED. All that stuff comes into play, and you gotta plan your day out. So when you have the inside on your mind, because you're in the inside, so obviously you gotta walk the line, right? And you gotta make sure you keep your nose clean, right, within your peoples and with other people's other group segments in there. So you gotta cross your T's and dot your I's, right, and be on your game, right? So you gotta, and if you get any type of position in there, like I said, you're gonna have D's and R's, duties and responsibilities, and you gotta stay on point with those. So once that, once you got that established, then if you're one of them type of guys that's always worried about the streets and worried about your family, or some guys just worry about the streets, just the ripping and running of the streets. They don't even trip on the family thing. But when you're in there again, depending on how old you are and where, if who in your family's alive still, your parents, your mom, always worried about you because you're out there running, ripping and running on the street. She probably looks at it like, oh, well, at least he's in there now. I know he's safe. Even though them not knowing really how it is in there, it can be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? It only takes a second for it literally takes, less than a minute for a full-fledged riot to kick off in there. You know what I mean? So it's a dangerous place, but compared to what you were doing, your mom might feel, your parents might feel you're in a safer place by being in there, less worrying on them, right? Then they still gonna worry about you in there because they're your parents, so they're concerned about you, right? Then you got your spouse or your girl, and you got kids, right? So you're always worrying about some guys that are tripping on what they're doing. You know what I mean? Some guys try to be, they're not part of their kids' lives, and the kids grow up without no dad, right? Or guys are trying to be really involved with the kids' schooling and such like that, you know what I mean? But then again, we only get 15 minutes on the phone, right? And depending where you're at, they sign that they go around with a sign-up sheet. If you're in your cells, doing cell time, they'll go around with the sign-up sheet and sign you up for the phone. And you're supposed to get a PM call and an AM call, but most of the time those building cops only sign you up one time, okay? And the phones are inside the building, and you only get 15 minutes. And then a tower that's on the outside of the somewhere in the facility on the property, but they control the phone, so they can turn it off on you. So even if, say, you went through your 15 minutes and then you're able to call again because nobody was waiting for the phone that had next or whatever, uh, you can try to get by, but once they realize that you'd have made another call, they'll just cut it off on you. You know what I mean? Because you have to state your name when you get on the phone. So they have the phone list up there in that tower, whatever that tower's at on that property, they have the phone list right there. So he or she knows. They'll ask you sometimes, state your name. What's your CDC last two, right? So if your last two is 67, and then you got a C number, you say C67. First letter, the only letter. Well, then some. No, I take that back. Some they got double letters now, but the original letters were one letter, and then two numbers, and that's how you, like, for your mail and everything. They'll stop at your door. They'll say, for example, Jones, and then you get off your bunk. Yeah, what's your last two? 25, 67, whatever it is, and then they throw you your mail, right? Um, So yeah, again, in my book, I believe your people's, especially if you got a close knit with your kids and stuff like that, they're doing time with you while you're in there. While you're in there, they're doing time with you. They don't get to see you at their football game, at their basketball game, at their baseball game. Uh, for the girls, cheerleading practice, about dancing class, assemblies at school, getting awards. You know what I mean? You're not there, and they know you're not there. You know what I mean? And but I would always try my best just to send them cards, their birthdays and Christmas. You know what I mean? And I did a pretty good job, I would think, on that. You know what I mean? But still doesn't beat you actually being there in the flesh with them, enjoying different memories. Creating memories together. It's not happening because you're inside. You know what I mean? And a phone call is 15 minutes, and then you got some of these old pins like San Quentin, or excuse me, Tracy. Well, actually, there's Tracy no more. They used to have them. Soledad, they have the phones on the yard. So depending, how they do the release, because they change it every other day or something like that. It changes, or actually it changes every day where different buildings are let out first. And then this side, A side's let out before B side, and you got guys running to the phone. Um, in that case, in that type of case right there, you can pay guys to get in line for you, right? And you say you find 3 4 guys get in line for you, give them a 50 cents, 2 soups or 2 stamps, and they go in and get in line for you. And some dudes would have like 5 6 8 guys that would uh get in line for them, and they pay them, and then that way they can just sit on the phone, boom boom boom, and talk. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a trip, but it is what it is. This is really what happens in there. And again, those phones are on the yard, so you just run. Guys usually try to run to get over there, and then get whatever position they get. Sometimes sometimes on that yard, sometimes that phone line wouldn't even be long at all. It'd be like the guys on the phone, and then maybe not even a full line to get on it. You know what I mean? So there's like, I don't know exactly, I can't remember, but I want to say there's about 20 phones in a row on the wall, maybe 18. And then sometimes the line it'd be a couple hundred people in the line, but even that, it would go fast. You figure that's only there's 20 phones on the wall. Yeah, roughly 20 on the wall. Yeah, I think there was about 20 on the wall. Sometimes it'd be, like I said, sometimes the whole wall be used up. Everybody's on each phone, and then you might only have a line of maybe 10 guys, 10 guys in line to use the phone after them. Then other times you'd have like 200 people in line. So it just depends what day it was. If it was a day that everybody was at school and everybody was at work and voc and all that, then you have better action at using getting on there a few times. You know what I mean? But I never was one that tripped on the phones. On the getting in line, getting on the phone. I wasn't one like that. I didn't. I got visits. I got a couple visits here and there, but never was like, some of these guys, they want their family there every weekend. You know what I mean? They're trying to max out on, canteen, 220 a month, excuse me. And that's too much. That's too much. 220. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot, and there's no need to there's no need to like you know what I mean, but like brag, boast and brag about nothing. To me, you're inside there, bro. You it's not nothing to brag about, boast about, especially when you're leaving your family behind. You're leaving them out in the free world while you go get locked up. It it's got to take a toll on the kids. They don't say things too much. They hold everything in. Some kids, but definitely they do time with you, even though they still go on with their life, because nobody life stops. Because life goes on, but it is what it is, and it's a form. Like I said, that's a form of them. You know, whatever it is, love. They're missing you, kids. They're doing time too, somewhat with you. It's more so the adults though. The more so the adults, such as your parents and maybe some of your sisters. More feeling it more than your brothers do because they're men. You know what I mean? But definitely, mom is like, oh, at least he's in there, he's safe. You know what I mean? I've heard my mom say that to me before, so I know that. I know that's true. That's got to be true. You know. But excuse me. Damn. This was just gonna be a little quick video on that because it's really, it's not really much. It's not a really a long topic, and unless anybody wants to join in and jump on the panel, I know I only got two in here right now watching, and they haven't made a comment, so I don't know who it is. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I appreciate everybody that's gonna watch the video after it's uploaded. Uh, you know what I mean? But yeah. So yes, that is it is what it is. So yes, again, you are doing time when you're doing time and your family's doing time. That's simple. It's that simple. And remember too, they don't care. I'll tell you this right now, your homeboys don't care. The homies don't care about what's going on with you. If you got bad news, in the letter last night, or you got bad news from the doctor, any of that stuff, they don't care. Maybe you lost a family member. The homies don't care. They want you have to continue to do what you're supposed to be doing as far as whatever your duties and responsibilities are. You are expected to fulfill you fulfill that position and in a high tech manner. You know what I'm saying? Sea Dog, what's up, man? There ain't no there. It's I mean, I'm pretty sure some people would give you. Sometimes there's cats that'll give you a pass and don't let you grieve a day or two. But for the most part, you know, the household, the things that are going on with the homies is priority. I've never been there, but thinking about your family and worrying about them has got to be the hardest part of doing time. Well, I don't. Me personally, I never let it get to me. I try my darndest not to stress on the streets at all because I seen how other guys would carry themselves and letting it get to them. And putting themselves in the position where like every it's like it's nerve wracking for them. That they can't control nothing. You can't control nothing. What's going on out there if you're locked up on the outside? So I train myself not to trip on that ever. Don't trip on the outside because there's nothing you can do to there's nothing you can do to change that situation other than once you get out, don't come back. That's the only thing you can control. But when you're locked away, waiting to finish your time and come out, uh, and then you know what I mean, uh, then you become part. Then you can do things about then you can have a say so and do something about what's going on. But in the meantime, while you're locked up, man, you're just tripping yourself out. You're just making yourself trip. Stress and everything else. You know what I mean? That comes with that. Then you got to deal with, and on the flip side, you got to deal with the homies, the issues in there, the politics in there. You know what I mean? So some people can't handle it. Some people, trip out. Some people end up taking off on their peoples, taking flight on them or somebody else because they just rather get the heck out of there, than to continue to deal with the politics and stuff. I don't know. I hope I'm making sense. I hope you're able to get that. What I'm saying. Um, so yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. If you want to be in your kids' lives and your family's lives, then definitely don't go to jail and prison. Definitely not prison because we already know prison's long stretches, right? Longer stretches than county jail. County jail usually is a year and under with half. You know what I'm saying? Prison is anything over a year and a day, they say, right? But 16 months usually is the lowest term you'll see. 16 months, 2 years, 3 years, and then 4 years, and then it goes start going to five. And, you know, so there's just definitely no future in that place. That's definitely for sure. You know what I'm saying? And just know there's no place. Like what Dorothy say, there ain't no place like home. So home being free, being on the outside, right? And there you got to be told when chow is, when to wake up, when to stand up for count, uh, when you can get toilet paper to wipe your arse. You know what I mean? Because you ran out, so you have to wait till whenever they feel like doing supplies. You gotta, you know, this side go to chow first before that side. You know what I mean? Yard, come in, go out to yard, come in from yard. 5 minutes in the shower. Hurry up and rinse off. Go and turn the water off on you. You know, they turn the water off and you got soap all in your eyes. You barely even, got in there and they're already moving people out. It's a trip. You know what I mean? Everything's they tell you wouldn't do everything. I even been to the certain prisons where there was a water. You could only shower at certain times. And you're right there in a dorm, and the showers are just right there. It's not like you're in a cell living. Where you're locked in. You're in a dorm. The showers are right there, but yet the showers are only open for certain hours, and it's crazy. A lot of it's like I said, BS. But that's part of going to prison. Part of being you know uh, following directives, right? Following the reglas, right? The rules and shit. You know what I mean? Or turn off the hot water, or turn off the hot water. Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, they'll do that shit too. Or they'll make the water either scalding hot, where you can't even. Dude, I've been in showers where it was so freaking hot, burning, like you couldn't even. It was like you had to jump in and out, like 'cause it was so hot. You know what I mean? Or I remember that time too. That one wasn't so much them doing it, but they kept having a problem with the hot water. Where the hot water would go out, and we'd have just straight cold water, and we'd be bird bathing in cold water, or showering in cold water. Excuse me. You know what I mean? And yeah, they got all them tricks. They do all those fucking sneaky ass shit. You know what I mean? You know, uh, another thing they try to do too. They try to, like, especially like on the bus. Okay, so on the bus, they wear black uniforms, right? Transport, and what they'll do is, if you're talking and stuff, they'll first they warn you about talking. Don't be talking unless we tell you it's okay to talk. You know, and what they'll do is they'll say I end up talking and say I'm going to Solano, right? Okay, it's not too far from the reception center where I'm at, right? So they go, excuse me. So say you get caught talking, or somebody gets caught talking, right? They end up what they'll do is they'll say they're going up to, say they're going towards that way, Solano, San Quentin, uh Vacaville, right? Okay, what they'll do is they'll get with another bus, or they'll hold on to your stuff for a minute, and then they'll make sure your stuff gets shot up to like Pelican Bay or Susanville, way up north, right? Or they'll get it where it gets sent down all the way like to Donovan, which is like San Diego, Mexico border or close. You know what I mean? And then what they'll do is they'll be like, and this will be a person that has nothing to do with what's going on, right? Whose property this is, right? It's somebody that's on the bus too, but it's not, like I said, you're the one talking or somebody else is talking, and they'll just pick somebody to punish. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to get it where that person gets mad, gets so pissed that he ends up getting at you when you guys hit the yard. Once you come off the bus. And so that's that kindergarten type shit, right? Trying to get people against each other. They got some fucked up mañas, fucked up habits, what they do. You know what I mean? They try to treat you like a kindergartner, that's straight bullshit. You know? Uh they do that I've seen them do that many times though, where they try to uh punish one group because another group did something. It's petty in there too. You know what I mean? So not only you got to deal with all that, like I was talking about, like you got to deal with all that. Then on top of doing whatever, taking care of whatever your duties and responsibility is within your collective, which are in your peoples inside there, and then your mind's worried about the streets, what's going on in the streets. You know, so you got all that different stuff constantly around you. You know what I mean? Plus, haters, little fucking uh, uh kindergarten cop ass motherfuckers too. A lot of them have chicken shit attitudes. You know, you could be one of the most politest cats there are when you go talk to them, which that's what I do. And one thing is this, another thing too is always remember to take a shadow with you, have somebody there with you. It's just, it is what it is. You're in there, you got to follow the rule. You didn't make the rules, right? So don't break them. You know what I'm saying? So you take somebody with you up there if you have to ask that cop for whatever, that CO. You know what I mean? You take somebody with you. It's called a shadow, and that way they can verify what you said or what you did. You know what I mean? It's a good safety precaution to do that. You know what I mean? Take somebody with you, which is called a shadow, and you'll see everybody doing that because you go up there alone. Nobody knows what you're telling the cop. You could be telling them, "Oh, so and so there's got wine. So and so's got dope. So and so's got a bunch of books, books of stamp. He got this. He got, you know, that was that's why you don't do that because you can never give nobody the chance to say that you're doing any of that. Excuse me, I got off topic a minute ago. I was looking at this. I just swatted off this little bug that was on the mirror. So yeah, so it's a lot. It could be a lot, having to go through that for some people. Everybody's not strong-minded. Others are weak. Some people have weaker minds than others. Some people are more J-Cat than others. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Uh, it is what it is. Just put it that way. You know. But I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. This is just a quick little live. The reason why I'm not doing pre-records is because I still haven't figured out how to do the thumbnails. So I'm trying to, I did this little live with the thumb. I mean, yeah, this little live I did with the thumbnail, and I did one a little bit ago too on Neil Della Croce, and I got another one set for an hour from now on what's his name? Oh man. Oh, that's what it is. No. I'm doing the next one I'm doing is I'm going to continue my series on real American heroes. So I'm gonna profile the 65th Regiment Infantry, Bonengineers, Yankees. What up? So I'm gonna profile them, and then I think I might have one more for today, and then that'll be it. Because the reason why I've dropped a few today is because over the weekend I lost time. I wasn't feeling good, so I didn't drop anything. So I did one other day I did a few, and then today I'm gonna do a few. Hopefully, it get me back in the swing of things. You know what I mean? But I got some things planned with some other content creators. So hopefully that'll get me past that 300 because I'm at like 293 I think right now, 292. You know what I mean? So it's a grind, but I'm a big lose in it for the long haul. You feel me? We're gonna grind away. We're gonna strive away. We saw all the way through. You know what I mean? But I appreciate everybody who stopped in. Sea Dog, Tim Egan, Frank Positive Vibes, Yankee for Life. You know what I mean? Cubo Gente. God bless everyone in the chat. Yeah, likewise. Igualmente. Igualmente, carnalote. Feel me? But yeah, so everybody that came and stopped by, again, Tim Egan, Frank's Positive Vibes, Yankees for Life, Chepe. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and I appreciate anybody that watches it after it's uploaded onto the YouTube channel. With that being said, Big Lou, tapping on out. Peace.